Hi, it's Dr. Henry Chen. I'm a facial plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills. In this video, I will be going over postoperative instructions for rhinoplasty. This also applies if you're having a septoplasty or nasal valve repair. Patients commonly tell me they're afraid to have this surgery because they're afraid of the recovery because they've been told by a friend or family member how bad and excruciatingly painful it was. Sometimes I have patients that also have previously had a rhinoplasty, but the results didn't turn out the way they wanted, but they never went back to the doctor to have another surgery because the recovery from the first one was so terrible. I find that these are the exceptions to the rule. In general, rhinoplasty and other nasal surgery do not hurt that much. I find that patients are most bothered by the amount of pressure and congestion inside the head after surgery. This is to be expected because both the outside as well as the inside of the nose are all going to swell, and the lining inside the nose is going to secrete a lot more mucus. When you couple this with all of the oozing and bleeding and dried blood that accumulates inside the nose, you really can't breathe through your nose after surgery. I set the expectation with all my patients that there's no way you should reasonably expect to have any breathing through the nose for the first week. Unfortunately, it is very uncomfortable to have to breathe through your mouth. You're constantly having to deal with dry mouth and you're drinking water frequently over and over again throughout the day. At nighttime when you try to sleep, you're waking up because your mouth is dry, so you only get a couple hours of sleep here and there. After about a week of this, patients are run down, and it's to be expected. It's kind of like having a bad cold or sinus infection where you can't smell and you can't taste anything, and at the same time you feel all of this pressure inside your head, so sometimes people say it makes their headaches or migraines worse. However, I tell everyone this only lasts for 1 week. When you compare that to hopefully a lifetime of better breathing as well as better aesthetics of the nose, I think it's a small price to pay. To make your recovery easier, I've created an easy to remember mnemonic. It's actually PAIN, P-A-I-N. The P stands for pain control. Like we discussed, rhinoplasty isn't associated with a lot of pain for the most part. I tell all my patients to take a combination of tylenol or acetaminophen as well as advil or ibuprofen together after surgery. I recommend 500 milligrams of tylenol or acetaminophen and 400 milligrams of advil or ibuprofen. You want to take these two together every 4 hours around the clock. The best way to do this is to set a timer on your phone so you're always reminded to take it. That way you don't miss a dose. Additionally, you should wake up in the middle of the night to take it as well. That way when you wake up, you haven't missed a couple of doses and your pain will be better controlled. Patients are often told by other providers to alternate between Tylenol and Advil. This leads to less effective pain control, and that is why I tell everyone you want to take both of them together every 4 hours. After the first couple of days, you probably won't need to continue the around-the-clock regimen and you can take it just as needed. Now, in case your pain is more severe and you need something stronger, you will also be given a prescription for tramadol. Tramadol is a narcotic and it is there as your backup or your second line, in case the Tylenol and Advil regimen is not enough. The majority of patients don't even take it, or they take it to help them sleep the first night or two. The A in pain stands for Arnica. Arnica is an herbal supplement that can be purchased at a local drugstore or online very easily. It comes in both a pill form as well as a gel form, and they're both effective at minimizing bruising and swelling. I ask that all my patients take the oral pill form of Arnica every day after surgery, but I want you to also start it 2 days prior to surgery. So 2 days before surgery, you take it. The day before surgery, you take it. The day of surgery, you take it when you get home, and you continue to take it daily for the week after surgery. This goes a long way in minimizing bruising and swelling. The other thing that also makes a huge impact is ice. That's the I in the pain mnemonic. Applying ice over your face will also help to limit the amount of bruising and swelling that can develop. A bag of frozen peas is ideal for this, but you can also make your own by putting ice cubes into a Ziploc bag. The areas that can bruise or swell after surgery include the lower eyelids as well as the cheeks, and so applying a bag of ice over this area is very effective. You should be applying ice every hour while you're awake for approximately 3 to 5 minutes for it to be most effective. This is better than doing it only once or twice a day for 20 or 30 minutes at a time. Finally, the N stands for NeilMed Sinus Rinse. This is a popular saline rinse kit for the nose that can be purchased at any drugstore or online as well. Inside the kit, there's a squeeze bottle as well as multiple packets of salt. You open one packet of salt and you pour it into the bottle and you add water, making saline. Saline going up your nose feels cooling and refreshing, and it doesn't burn like tap water. The instructions are included inside the kit, but basically you want to put the bottle underneath your nose while you're looking down over a sink or bathtub. When you squeeze the bottle, the saline rushes up your nose and then it just comes right back down because of gravity. This allows you to start to wash away the debris that builds up inside the nose. I ask that everybody use the NeilMed Sinus Rinse at least 5 times a day every day, and it would be best if you started when you got home on the day of surgery. You can't really overdo it, and the more you do it, the better you're going to feel. If there's still a lot of debris inside your nose at your first postoperative visit, then I will have to mechanically pull all of that stuff out, and you can imagine it is not that comfortable. So you can save yourself some of that by rinsing as much as you can for your first week after surgery. One commonly asked question about the NeilMed Sinus Rinse is it supposed to go up one nostril and come out the other side? Well, once everything is fully healed and everything is nice and open, sure, it should be able to do that. However, for the first week, we don't really care about that, and that is not your goal. The goal is really just to irrigate the first inch inside each nostril, because that is where you will have the most accumulation of debris. After surgery, it is recommended that you avoid exercise and heavy lifting for at least 1 week. However, doing your day-to-day activities such as walking the dog or going to the grocery store should not be an issue after the first day or 2. You will also be able to shower the day after surgery, even though there may be a splint or a cast on the outside of the nose. There are really no dietary restrictions. Patients can eat whatever they want to. However, I tell everyone you want to focus on a balanced diet with plenty of fruits and vegetables as well as protein to help your recovery. I think it should be obvious that we do not want you to blow your nose or pick your nose, as this will lead to more pain and bleeding after surgery. One commonly asked question is, will my nose be packed after surgery? Well, it's not like the old days where we used to stuff lots and lots of gauze into both sides. These days, the only thing that goes inside your nose are 2 thin sheets of silicone that are called splints. These splints are secured in place with a suture, and they stay in place until your first postoperative visit 1 week later, where they're removed. Like we discussed earlier, after surgery, you should really not have any expectation of being able to breathe through your nose that first week, and the splints will certainly contribute to that. However, they do play a very important role in helping the septum heal as well as possible. There you have it. By following the pain mnemonic, you'll be able to have the most comfortable recovery possible. Please let me know if you have any questions, and if you like the content, please hit the subscribe button. You can also find me on my other social media accounts.